All right, gonna paste this, and we are gonna be good to go. General. All right, good Friday, everyone. Cut Power, do you want to start?
Okay, good day everyone. From yesterday to now, I've mostly worked on an issue around the P2P, which was adding raw tracer so we can add it to our metrics. So I spent some time working on that, and I had to learn some Go just so I could be faster. So hopefully by the end of today, I should make a draft PR and make progress on that.
Okay, cool. Mete?
Today I've done with the process deposit part, thanks to Thomas Gringer's comments. And afterwards, I'm starting to the networking issue for status response and request handling. And that's all me.
Okay, did you comment on the tickets so we can assign you?
I'm already assigned.
Okay, awesome.
Thank you.
Cool. All right, Fernando?
Yes, yesterday I implement the process if one data is already merged. Also, Mega left some comments in the PR about the SSC encoding list. I already fixed them. Also, that PR is also merged. Now I can start with the container part that I have to follow the same approach, refactor the code using more clauses and more quartz and functional clauses to improve the code and be more functional in that part.
All right, great. So for me, I was mostly working on tickets, and yeah, I had also some PR related to the load on the Gen server of the fork choice. Now we are able to do a checkpoint sync and get like the latest blocks, and we are not really processing them, but at least we are getting like all the blocks that we want. So I encourage you guys to take the repo and do make checkpoint sync and see how it is. Things are happening. Like we don't have like the state transition complete, but I think it's starting to look like a real client. And so I created a couple of tickets related to first to fork choice and also to the state transition, but they are more kind of like global tickets in which you get like several blocks and you are making sure that the state transition was performed correctly. Like we are gonna be able to work on those after we have like all the operations and all the functions that you guys are working on. But like there are many tests. I created like one big ticket, and then for like the ones that are interested, they can comment on which test case they want to work on. There are like for like 50 or so, and then we have the same for fork choice. So that's gonna be some interesting work. And yeah, also by the way, fork choice is like the core of the client, so it's interesting to work on that. And also like some tickets related to networking. And yeah, so yeah, I think we are getting like closer to the first MVP, which is quite exciting. So yeah, looking forward to that. And yeah, after that we'll have to start optimizing everything, but at least having like something which is working would be great. Cool. Well, have a great Friday, everyone.
Yeah,
And
I
you
have
can,
something to say. You created an issue around not all slots contain blocks. So he created an issue around being able to return the blocks that are available on the client generally. But then I'm talking about the message you tagged me on
Okay, yeah,
Telegram.
yeah.
Yeah. So, but then is that issue supposed to cover how it is stored? So is it currently storing that a particular slot doesn't have a block? Because it returns not found, it returns error. So because I thought we are going to create an issue specially to save to kind of specify that a particular slot doesn't have a block if I'm trying to get block by slot. So
But the fact that a slot doesn't have a block is not necessarily an error. So if you have like a slot and you don't have a block, it could be two reasons. One is that you didn't get the block and you don't have it, then it is an error. And the second case is the proposer didn't propose a block on that slot, so that slot is empty. The way you can see that is that the next block will have the parent hash pointing out to the block that is 2 slots behind, or 3 or 4 or whatever. So in that case, the chain is working correctly. It's just that you have like an empty slot or more than one. So that's kind of like a valid chain, and you should not return an error. Instead, like for example, if you are asking for 4 slots and 1 slot is empty, you just return 3 blocks. And you don't return like an error message at all. I don't know if I'm making myself clear.
yeah, that actually makes a lot of sense because the way I was thinking about it was we have to specify in the response that a this slot doesn't contain a block. So I would now have to like using that response, I can now say, okay, you asked for 4 slots, but I'm giving you only 3 because one of the slots doesn't contain a block. So from what you're saying, I should just check, like, but wouldn't it be better for the block get response by block to tell like from the response, because I think that was what Thomas was suggesting, that we should have a way to say from the request, not from my end. There's a way to say from the request that this particular slot doesn't contain a block. So that processing should not happen on the request side. The response should already tell that the
Yeah.
block there's no block existing in that slot.
So we should for sure look at the spec, but like I was calling, I was requesting other peers for the same call, and I was seeing like, for example, I was requesting 20 slots and I was getting 19 blocks, and I was not getting like an error like this slot is empty or nothing like that. I was just asking for 20 and I was getting 19 and it was okay. So I guess that's how it is specified in the spec, but we should probably double check it.
Yeah. I think we're actually saying the same thing but what I'm saying is that the processing, like, yes, I know we are going to return the blocks that we have to the to the person requesting, but I mean on our end, right? When I try to do get block
Okay.
by slot, it
You
should
mean
return.
the store
Yes, it should.
behavior, you mean?
Yes, it should say that this slot doesn't contain a block. So
Okay.
I don't have to check that the parent is like 2 slots back, if you get what I mean.
Yeah, that's a good point. I mean, I think we should discuss it offline, but that might be a good point. Yeah, maybe Thomas G can chime in as well. He's commenting. Oh, I see him here. Okay, there you are. But yeah, let's take that offline because and discuss it there. Cool. So yeah, Thomas G, you're there. So what's your
Yeah, well, I got here a bit late, but I leave my update. I finished the peer pruning PR. For now, I think we can merge it like this. It has some problems because it hits a bottleneck on the P2P port, but I'll be working on that today. I already have seen what's the cause of it. It seems we are sending requests and waiting for the response synchronously on the port, and so it just stops all of a sudden responding. And it should be an easy fix, but it might take a while.
All right. Well, it's awesome that you found that. Cool. All right. Does anybody have something else before we call it a day? All right. Have a great day, everyone. Bye-bye.
I see.